The Volkswagen CC, almost inarguably the best looking thing they make. So why don't you see any of them on the road? Let's drive this 2015 CC with the R-Line trim and a third pedal and check the tech. Here's a problem with the CC. It's a member of a Volkswagen product line that is very heavy on four-door cars in a U.S. market that is very heavy on crossovers. Now, the CC, of course, comes at you as a premium vehicle. It's up against Acura TLX and Infiniti G37, now the Q60, but those two outsell this guy by anywhere from 3 to 7 times. So you're not likely to pull up next to another one of these at a stoplight. That's great for you as the buyer, not so good for Volkswagen as the seller. The other problem is, of course, if you want the basic function of this vehicle and can live without the swoopy looks, you're going to look at a Passat for $6,000 or $7,000 less. Now, our CC is one up from the bottom. It's called an R-Line. It's got a more aggressive chin, special set of 18-inch wheels, and a very mild but distinctive body sill kit. Now, inside our CC, things are a little disturbingly common with the Passat and the Jetta. There's certain benefits to having a common look and feel to your cars until they make this high-trim one feel too much like the low-trim ones. Hear that? That's hard, cheap plastic abounding in too many parts. But they have laid it out very nicely. Every single gauge, dial, knob, and readout in this cabin is visible behind the wheel. This may be the first car this year I've reviewed that I can say that about, so that's good. What's not so good is, of course, a VW head unit. This is standard with navigation and backup camera, but blessedly, there's not much of it. The tech that's missing from this car is like a History Channel piece on cars in the year 2005. It has no infotainment app support like Pandora or Aha, no driver assist tech like blind spot, adaptive cruise, or lane keeping, and even the nav on this R-Line model doesn't have traffic. If you get the higher trim executive level of this car, you get a bigger, although not necessarily better, head unit, and you also get 10-speaker Dynaudio sound. That's the international symbol for power on, power off, right? But when I turn the volume a little bit, what's that symbol now? Is that Pac-Man sticking his tongue out? You obviously have a vendor that can make controls that have an outside turning ring with an inside push button that doesn't rotate. Why not use it there? It's a small thing, but it makes me insane. Now, we have the unusual 6-speed manual. Unusual because finding it in a high-trim car like this is rare as hen's teeth. You've got no other sort of drive controls here, no drive mode, no paddles, obviously. It's very straightforward. Now, our CC has the little motor, the 2-liter Turbo 4 sitting side saddle, driving front wheels only. All the 2-liter 4s are front-wheel drive. You can also get a narrow-angle V6, what they call a VR6, and those are all all-wheel drive. The resulting 200 horsepower and 207 pound-feet of torque are not headline-grabbing for a car that weighs nearly 3,400 pounds. 0 to 60 comes up in 6.5 seconds. Again, nothing stunning by today's standards, but respectable. 2132 mpg is also quite good, but again, small displacement helps us get there. Okay, first thing I got in this CC and turned the key, I thought, okay, this is going to be a mess. Big-ish compact car with a 2-liter Turbo 4 that doesn't have stunning numbers to it. And I was surprised. This is a great engine combination because largely we've got a manual gearbox. You can really get the most out of the engine, and it's got a good power and torque curve to go with it. It's not too peaky. The suspension, similar to the engine, is not overly aggressive. Great comfort on the ride quality and enough firmness to have the car feel fit, if not athletic. It's easy to get comfortable. We don't have a sunroof, by the way, which is a different story, so I've got a little extra headroom here. But at my height, I was still able to put someone 6 foot behind me, and they were quite comfortable. So they've laid out the cabin space well. It's a joy to drive, to be honest, but it's not going to be your sharpest tool on a twisty canyon road. Okay, our CC R-Line trim is 35.1 delivered. The only option of any significance is to get the dual-clutch automated gearbox, the DSG, for $1,100 more. I'm actually going to skip it, even though it's the more tech-forward choice, because I like how the manual transmission brings out the best of this 2-liter turbo motor. It's a nice combination. You buy a CC because you really love Volkswagens and you want something different that doesn't look like every other car on the road, not because you want the latest technology or necessarily the best value.